Alright, notebooks should be out. If you want to follow along, that's alright. If you don't have the notes up, please close your laptops. So what we're going to be starting to talk about is ecology. So, ecology is the study of the relationships among organisms and their environment. If at any time during the notes I move on to a slide and someone's not done writing, just let me know. Okay, go for it. Okay. Ecologists study environments at different levels of organization. So again, ecology is the study of the interactions among living things and between living things and their surroundings. So, interaction among living things, we have our picture of our bear up there getting its food, which I'm not sure what kind of fish that is, but a bear and a fish interacting with one another. Between living things and their surroundings, maybe we could think about that as a woodpecker creating a hole in a tree so that way it can have a hole. Good with this slide? Yes. So now we're going to move into the levels of organization, starting from the smallest and then getting bigger. So our smallest level of organization is an organism. An organism is an individual living thing, such as an alligator, like we have there on our picture. Someone just give me another example of an organism.
Fish.
Fish, dog,
Cat.
cat. Think of something really small.
Caterpillar.
Okay, caterpillar, not quite what I'm looking for. That is another example. Think of something really small. What'd you say now? Bacteria. That is a very small example of a living thing or an organism. So a lot of things are organisms. Anything that is living can be considered as an organism. So let's think about a scenario. Let's just say we have an organism and we're just going to think about organism as our individual selves. Next we have a population. A population is a group of the same species that live in one area. So the example that we have there on our board is a population population of alligators living in the same area? So I'm going to go back to when I started my organism. I said let's think of our organism as ourself. So then we're going to have our population. I want us to think of population as all of us here at East High School. Next, we have a community. A community is a group of different species that live together in one area. So going along with our East High example, our organism was us, our population was the students at East High, and then our community could be all the other school districts here in this area, such as like East Middle, North, West, all of those schools. Next, we have our ecosystem. An ecosystem includes all of the organisms, as well as the climate, soil, water, rocks, and other non-living things in a given area. So living and non-living things. What are other terms for those? Yes, Natalie? Abiotic. What's the other one? Biotic. Yep. Biotic and abiotic. So, abiotic. What is that?
That's non-living.
That is non-living. What's an example of an abiotic?
Rock.
Rock. Anything else?
Soil.
Soil. Water.
Air. The atmosphere.
The atmosphere. You can also think of the climate or the temperature, how much rainfall it gets, how much sunlight it receives. So biotic. What is biotic then?
Biotic is like
alive.
animals, plants.
So the living things. Animals, plants.
How is soil not living if it makes other
Oh my god.
There's living organisms in the soil, but the soil itself is not living. Because soil is dirt.
You can't kill soil.
So, going along with our school example again. In this case, our ecosystem,
So the desert isn't,
the desert is an
but
ecosystem.
it doesn't have soil and like water.
It doesn't have to have soil to be an ecosystem or water.
Why is that in here?
It's just giving you an example. Guys, I am waiting. Ecosystem does not have to have soil, water, water. It can have sand. It can have a lot of different factors. Those are just a couple that are up there on the board. Anyway, going along with our school example again, we can think of an ecosystem being Sioux City, which all the school districts are found in. And then our largest level of organization is a biome. A biome is a major regional or global community of organisms characterized by the climate conditions and plant communities that thrive there. So, our last thing that we can think of with our ongoing example would be if Sioux City is our ecosystem, our biome then would be Iowa.
Nope, Woodbury County.
Well, most of Iowa has the same one.
Or it could be.
It could be, but I'm gonna go with Iowa.
Now,
So, now that we know our different levels, of organization, we're going to focus in more on ecosystems now. We're going to be doing a project in which we focus on a specific ecosystem. Whatever you want, you'll see here in a second. So, I want everybody to go back onto their canvas. And I want you to find this ecosystem tour. So, for our ecosystem tour, it says, in this assignment, you and your partner will create a tour of the ecosystem you choose to research. You and your partner will act as a tour guide, showing your classmates what they will find when traveling to your ecosystem. The tour will include the following points: a general description of the ecosystem you choose. What would it be like if you visited that ecosystem? The locations of the ecosystem. This is important. You must have at least 5 locations on your tour. Where is your ecosystem you chose located on Earth? What countries, regions, continents, etc.? The organisms that inhabit the ecosystem. This should include animals and plants, and possibly fungi, bacteria, and protists. The abiotic, non-living factors of the ecosystem, such as the amount of rainfall, the sunlight, the soil, and the climate, temperature, and natural disasters. So, what I want you guys to pull up next is this types of ecosystems page.
What is that?
It's a tiger.
So, like we said, you're going to have partners on this. So, listen. You will get to choose your partner. Think about that carefully. Choose wisely. Think of someone that you're going to actually work well with, not someone you're going to goof off with. If you are constantly goofing off and we have to get you back on task, you are going to be split up and you're going to do this project individually. So keep that in mind when you're picking your partner. Also, after you decide who your partner is, look at the types of ecosystems. There's a lot listed up there, but notice there's only 2 lines by each ecosystem. That means after 2 partner pairs have already chosen that ecosystem, you can't choose that one anymore. So think about your top 3 ecosystems that you want to do in case the one that you want gets completely chosen. So, get with your partner now and think about which ecosystem you want to do.
I mean, unless I can find. What do you think we're trying to work at?
I don't know.
Can you say, grab it? How's your day? You're doing that.
Sit back here. You can sit back
You should do the underwater ecosystem.
Oh, so they already had a brother. Oh, yeah, bro. The brother's already told the girl the boys already go to yesterday. Yeah. We're actually travel brothers on one. Yeah, Germany. Yeah, you guys do Germany. Yeah, you guys do that.
Guys, can I have your attention really quick?
What type of ecosystem?
Sorry I forgot to say this, but how you guys are going to be able to pick your ecosystems. We're going to be drawing sticks. They have, listen, they have numbers on them. Those numbers correspond to someone's name. You guys, I don't know if you remember your number or not, but that's okay if you don't. I know, people don't.
Shut up,
remember, so that's okay.
I guess I'm gonna be a group of 1. Let's go.
Boys in the back,
Want some?
come back up to the front because we're not done giving instructions yet.
Teacher.
But when your number is called, you're going to tell us your partner and which ecosystem you want. Also, we have some people gone. Yes.
We don't know what the number is.
You'll see. We'll just call your name.
No, I didn't know.
We'll do that beside that. I asked you think I can see your name and I was not a video.
Grande pace, grande
You want to do that? It's a please don't ask.
Oh my god.
Push back down. Alright, we'll do it. Trinidad is gonna have to use it.
All right, readiness to focus back.
Is that yours?
Josh, this is a
Towards
picture
the front. Also, if there's someone gone today and you want them in your group, just let us know. If someone is gone today, please leave them for your groups. That way they have somewhere to go when they come in. But I'm going to let Mrs. Hibbs take control of this part now.
Hey, number 4 is Hank. Who claims Hank? Anybody? Okay, first of all, I'm sick and tired of you guys talking today. You are being out of control, once again. Stop being rude to your peers. Next person who talks gets an invitation and we call home. I'm not kidding. I already have one. I have like 20 invitations I can give out. Kyler. What ecosystem do you choose? once you guys choose your ecosystem, you can start researching until we get everybody chosen. Riley. Are you with Ian?
So if someone else, but no one else does,
Nate,
No, nothing.
with Casey? Okay, I want you guys to come up to the front so you can pay attention to what is talked about next. Erica. Mountain is taken. With three. Here's your partners. Number 2, Brianna. Okay. Anybody claim Destiny?
Yeah, we will.
Destiny? Yeah. Okay. What do you, Marine? Number 6, Steven. Or Steven.
Grassland.
Huh?
Grassland.
Grassland, Savannah or Prairie?
Savannah.
You got Central Valley?
Savannah? With Tyler? Carter?
Freshwater.
With Dalton?
Yeah.
Haley? Yep, all of them are open. At least keep which one? Deciduous or evergreen? Amber?
Tiger.
Tyga? Who's your partner?
Me.
Okay. Tyga? All three of you?
Why is there?
Hey, there's no more groups of 3, so if you're thinking you're gonna be a group of 3, you're not.
You're just bugging around.
Callista. That's not on the ecosystem list.
wait, what?
Green is taken.
Oh.
Buddy.
Rivers.
Okay, you need to choose from the list that was given to you.
Wait, just surprise us with one.
No,
Yes, just give us one. Hey, just sign us. We'll do it.
no.
Please.
Follow the directions that were given to you.
Hey, do
Callista?
No idea.
Really?
Wait, it says we surprise us, like, I just wanna get surprised. Desert.
The whole ship is the tongue.
A lot of Jewish women.
Deciduous.
Wasn't believe that.
Dalton, your children. Amanda. Freshwater is taken.
I feel like she practiced the magic.
Tyga's taken.
Like doing it.
Tom, which one? A, B, C, or C? B, C, or D? B.
All these guys done.
Tyler, your children. Jennifer,
Oh my God.
Fine. Sorry.
Tell the other Bailey.
Freshwater, Marine, Mountain, Savannah, Evergreen, and Tyga.
Tropical,
B.
the tropical district.
Games are connected to. Do you like Lake Titicaca?
Wait, does everybody have a partner and everybody have something, have their, their ecosystem chosen?
Should I need to go out my phone and get the code?
What's my tour name?
Okay, listen. Hey, Miss Sandman is gonna go through the tour to talk to you about how to set it up and what you need to do. If you are talking while she is talking, I will be giving you an invitation. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Like 0 talking. Does anybody think I'm kidding?
No, you're being 110% serious.
So
And
just,
yet you're talking.
so just quick on the types of ecosystems. Look at your ecosystem, and underneath there are examples to help you out a little bit. Some people are kind of confused about that, but always look at those examples. They're there to help. So, I want everybody to go to this tour builder now. You need to have a Gmail account to use it. If you have a Gmail account, just use your partners. We only want one person to sign into this. So, let your partner know your email and your password, because if they're gone one day and you can't get on it, then you're out of luck.
We don't have a Gmail account.
You have to make one.
Alright, we'll make one now.
So, we're just going to look at a quick example of a tour builder that I made this weekend. just to give you an idea of how it looks. So, right here I have my tour, and it's of bizarre landmarks in the U.S. So, for my first one, I put this Mothman statue, and then it zooms in on the area, and I put pictures along with it that you can see scrolling through, and I put a little description down there at the bottom.
Tyler and Steven are staying after school.
Then I went to Gum in Washington. The Gum Wall.
Ew.
It's a wall located in Seattle, Washington. People would stick their gum on the wall while waiting for the Post Valley's Theater for improv shows. So, see all that gum on the wall there?
Very clean.
Yes, they did in 2015, but it's a gum wall again. Then I did Carhenge in Nebraska.
Can I go there?
And then finally I just did the Corn Palace there in Mitchell, South Dakota.
Hey, we were just doing this tonight.
So, what I want you guys to do is on this home page, click create a tour. And then for your tour name, it's going to be your ecosystem. So I'm just going to put marine down. And then your author name is going to be your name and your partner's name. Remember, only one person should do this. And then click create tour. So now you have your tour name and your author name. And then you're going to give an introduction to your ecosystem.
Okay, everybody stop playing around on Tour Builder and watch what's going up on the screen. Because you're not listening to instruction, you're playing. We will give you time to play. But right now you need to be listening to instructions so you know how to do it. Or you're all going to have the same questions.
So then you're going to add in a description of your ecosystem of what you're doing. This is when we're going to get into the individual locations of our ecosystem. So we're going to go over to this side and press add location. And before you actually type in any sort of location, look up information about some sort of location that's in, where it might be located, because if you were to type in just desert, a lot of different search results come up. Make sure you go in knowing exactly where you want your location to be. For my marine, I'm just going to put in the Great Barrier